Namaskar, you're watching The Global Eye. On a recent Saturday night in Tampa, Pakistan's Army Chief Field Marshal Asim Munir gave what might be the first ever nuclear threat issued from the US soil aimed at the third country. At a black tie event with the Pakistani diaspora, Munir warned, "We are a nuclear nation." These are Asim Munir's words. We are a nuclear nation. If we think we are going down, we will take half the world down with us. Strong words indeed, delivered far from the usual battlefield or diplomatic forums, right in the heart of America. But the nuclear rhetoric did not stop there. Munir threatened to destroy India's dams on the Indus River with 10 missiles, accusing India of treating the Indus as its family property. Munir declared, "We will wait for India to build a dam, and when it does, we will destroy it. Praise be to God, we have no shortage of missiles." These are Asim Munir's words. And then came the optimistic, almost poetic twist. Munir proclaimed that God is blessing Pakistan with abundant mineral and hydrocarbon resources, promising these riches would propel the country into the ranks of great powers. However, this claim sparked immediate controversy. A prominent Baloch leader openly contested these assertions, arguing that the so-called oil and mineral wealth lies primarily in Balochistan, not Pakistan proper, casting doubt on Munir's narrative. And here's where Munir's script meets a reality check. Almost every mineral deposit he is boasting about, from gold, copper, coal, and rare earth elements to huge gas reserves, lies not in Punjab or Sindh, but deep under the rugged mountains and deserts of Balochistan. The Reko Diq gold and copper mine alone is valued at over $500 billion, sitting on one of the world's largest untapped reserves. Vast coal beds in Chamlang, rich chromite deposits in Muslimbagh, uranium near Dera Bukti, and untapped oil fields, all Balochistan's natural wealth. Yes, despite providing over 40% of Pakistan's total mineral output, Balochistan remains one of the poorest, least developed regions, with residents lacking basic healthcare, clean water, and education. No wonder Baloch nationalist groups call Pakistani's mining operations internal colonialism. For decades, the Pakistan Army has extracted resources under heavy military presence while suppressing Baloch demands for autonomy or outright independence. So when Asim Munir claims Pakistan is rich in minerals, he's really talking about Balochistan's resources without acknowledging the people who live there. The violent insurgency still raging, or the repeated accusations of human rights abuses. Perhaps Munir failed to check. And Washington, of course, hears the speech and sees an angle. The US is in a race with China for access to rare earths and strategic minerals. Pakistan's military elite knows this, and Munir's Tampa ballroom performance was as much about luring American attention as it was about threatening India. Now, picture the scene. A Texas-style ballroom in Tampa. Phones are banned. Guests are enjoying halal Caesar salad. And between bites, the army chief drops nuclear threats, missile boasts, divine blessings, and veiled sales pitches for Pakistan's mineral riches, all wrapped in patriotic fervor. A surreal combination of diplomacy, dinner, and dangerous delusions. And now, some questions to ponder. When nuclear threats are delivered alongside fine dining, is this strategic deterrence or just political theatre with extra dressing? If Pakistan's mineral wealth lies almost entirely in Balochistan, how long before the Baloch intensify their fight for freedom, claiming those riches as their own? Is Washington silently calculating mineral deals behind the scenes, ignoring the fact that these resources are extracted from a province that has been in open revolt for decades. And when religion, military might, and resources politics collide in one speech, is it the show of strength or a warning sign of a state losing its grip? Now, as the world digests these startling words of Munir, one question lingers. When the spectacle is this dramatic, who is really swallowing the truth? The world? The Americans in the ballroom? Or just Asim Munir himself? Think about it. For more updates and insights, keep watching The Global Eye.